Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
A North Dakota family is pleading for a Sioux Falls hospital to allow them to see their 90-year-old father. The family, which is from Oaks, says he's dying after undergoing heart surgery that went downhill. Complicating matters is the coronavirus pandemic. Valley News Team's Joshua Pagero has their story.
Tom Heimbuck went into a Sioux Falls hospital on March 30th for heart surgery, according to his family. Although the surgery was risky, a quintuple bypass, his family says they were hopeful he'd make it out okay. He did, but then somewhere along the way, his condition spiraled downhill.
Nobody really had an answer. What happened? Did he have a stroke while he was doing the procedure? Did he have a stroke later?
Chad Heimbuck says it's inhumane that the hospital won't allow him to see his dad. The last time any family member went to visit him was 2 weeks ago.
We're all connected, everybody needs somebody, and to just be in there with nobody that and no moral support, and, it's tough.
Their dad is on a tracheostomy ventilator. Chad says they don't know if he's had COVID-19, and it's been hard getting any information from doctors.
I don't know if he's been tested or not. Nobody's ever said if he has. We've never asked.
They just don't understand how his condition got the way it is.
Just lack of communication and a bunch of empty promises and contradicting information. And
we reached out to Select Medical, the company that owns the hospital Heimbuck is in. In a statement, Select Medical says they are currently under a no-visitor policy due to the pandemic. They say they've conducted video conferences between families and patients. Still, for the Heimbuck family, they say that is not enough. In Oaks, Joshua Pagero, Valley News Live.
Select Medical says it will continue to monitor CDC guidelines and South Dakota's COVID-19 case count as a guide as to whether or not they'll change their visiting policy. In the meantime, the family says they've reached out to elected officials for help. We've been enjoying a great start to the weekend. The lack of wind is like frosting on the cake. Let's find out from Hutch if Mother Nature will be serving us cake all night long. Hutch?
Indeed, she will. Things are looking absolutely gorgeous across the region. You're looking at the Home of Economy camera there in Grand Forks, North Dakota. Blue skies with just a few passing clouds. All in all, temperatures are wonderful. In central South Dakota, there are rain showers, but for us, the most we'll see is an increase in clouds in our southern counties, including Fargo by the overnight hours. But temperatures in the 60s here through sunset, and then slipping off into the 50s and eventually 40s. Grand Forks expect beautiful conditions, light winds for the evening as well. There is some rain, that stuff in South Dakota, heading our way for your weekend planner. Mike, I'll have details on changes in where that rain is heading here in just a few minutes, and we'll look towards some warmer weather here in a minute.
Even warmer. All right, thanks. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum has announced guidelines for weddings and other mass gatherings in banquet halls and ballrooms. Effective immediately, these venues can open and operate at a 50% capacity and cannot exceed 250 people. They must allow for 6 feet of spacing between groups. Tables must be limited to 10 people per table. Salad bars and buffets can operate as long as pre-portioned servings are prepared by staff. Blackjack tables will remain closed, gaming machines must be separated by a minimum of 6 feet, and dance floors are still not allowed. To see a complete list of the guidelines for these venues, find this story on our VNL News app. 2 more deaths have been reported in North Dakota and linked to the coronavirus. They include a man in his 40s from Grand Forks County and a man in his 90s from Cass County. Both had underlying medical conditions. It brings the state's death toll now to 42. 35 have died because of the virus, 4 died with the virus, and 3 deaths are still pending an official cause. Cass County has surpassed the 1,000 case mark with an additional 43 cases reported today. Overall, the state has seen 1,761 total positive cases, with 1,071 of those listed as recovered. 35 patients are currently in the hospital. Minnesota is reporting 808 new positive cases today. The state's total positive tests now sit at 14,240. 8,820 patients no longer need isolation, and almost 500 patients are currently in the hospital, with 200 in the IC unit. Another 20 deaths were reported today in Minnesota, bringing the total to 583 in the state. Nearly 135,000 tests have been completed. Fargo needs to find a new police chief. David Todd has announced that he will be retiring at the end of July. Chief Todd has been with the department since 1987. He has served as the police chief since 2014. Todd notified the department of his intentions today. The city says it will immediately start a nationwide search for the next chief. Todd has agreed to remain in charge until a successor has been hired. COVID-19 has left many in the valley on the hunt for new jobs, but a West Fargo woman is warning you to be careful after she says she was almost scammed this week. Sarah Roll says that she inquired about a job posting on a local Facebook page, and when she heard back from a man at an alleged company, things started going south.
He wanted to know if I had a credit card, he wanted my home address, he wanted my phone number, he wanted to know what phone carrier I had.
The Better Business Bureau says if it seems too good to be true, it probably is, saying to be very mindful of sharing any personal information online, as it could open you up to identity theft and financial harm. Rolls says that she turned the offer down and didn't provide any of her information and hopes others do the same. Authorities want you to be alerted about a high-risk sex offender now working in Grand Forks. 49-year-old Juan Hernandez is working at Coast Materials in the 5000 block of Demers Avenue. He currently lives in Emerado. He was convicted of gross sexual imposition in 2002. Court documents say that Hernandez went into a woman's home, held a knife to her throat, and raped her. He also has criminal sexual conduct convictions on his record from 1997 involving a 14-year-old girl. Fargo Public Schools have reversed course and will hold in-person graduation ceremonies this month after initially saying that they would hold them in July. The move comes after an executive order signed by the governor in which it affects in-person ceremonies. Woodrow Wilson High School will be the first ceremony. It'll be May 29th at 7 p.m. to be held at Agassiz. Davies, North and South High Schools will all graduate on May 31st at their respective schools. The ceremonies will be for graduates only. No guests will be allowed, but the ceremony will be live streamed on YouTube. It'll be the same case over in West Fargo, where schools there are allowing in-person ceremonies to be limited to just graduates and select staff. The district saying today that they are working with a company to live stream the events, and to learn more about their graduation plans, find this story on the VNL News app. Moorhead police are asking for your help in finding this young girl, a 13-year-old who ran away from home. Police say Paige Renke disappeared in the middle of the night sometime between Monday and Tuesday. Renke is 5 feet 4 inches tall. She has brown hair and brown eyes. And if you know anything about her whereabouts, contact the Red River Regional Dispatch Center. The phone number is 701-451-7660. Fargo's medical marijuana dispensary is expected to reopen next week under a new name. Pure Dakota Health will remain in the same location as the Botanist, which closed down unexpectedly in early April. The reopening means all 8 dispensaries across the state of North Dakota will be operational again. The next time you go out, check your receipt. Restaurants across the nation are adding an extra line that says COVID-19 surcharge. We found out that the hair salon MJ Capelli's is participating locally. They're adding a $2 fee to every client's service, and that money goes to cleaning supplies to keep the business safe during the pandemic.
I myself couldn't see myself adding an extra line saying here's a fee for your COVID expenses, because my customers are also going through the same thing.
We checked with several restaurants today. All of them told us that they are not adding these surcharges to the bill. Later on Valley News Live at 6. Been to an airport lately? Not many of you have. Details to come.
Temperatures today soared into the 60s. It felt marvelous. Now, we do have a few showers to talk about in the weekend planner. We'll do that, and then we'll talk about a nice warm-up next.